of the Gennesaret, which is opposite Galilee. As he stepped out on land, a man of the city who had demons met him. For a long time he had worn no clothes, and he did not live in a house, but in the tombs. When he saw Jesus, he fell down before him and shouted at the top of his voice, "What have you to do with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I beg you, do not torment me." For Jesus had commanded the unclean spirit to come out of him. For many times it had seized him, and he was kept under guard and bound with chains and shackles, but he would break the bonds and be driven by the demon into the wilds. Jesus then asked him, "What is your name?" He said, "Legion," for many demons had injured him. And they begged him not to order them to go back into the abyss. Now there on the hillside, a large herd of swine was feeding. So the demons begged Jesus to let them injure these. So he gave them permission. The demons came out of the man and had injured the swine. And the herd rushed down the steep bank into the lake and was drowned. When the swineherds saw what had happened, they ran off and told it in the city and in the country. Then people came to see what had happened, and when they came to Jesus, they found the man from whom the demons had gone sitting at the feet of Jesus, clothed and in his right mind. And they were afraid. Those who had seen it told them how the one who had been possessed by demons had been healed. Then all the people of the surrounding country of the Gennesaret asked Jesus to leave them, for they were seized with great fear. So he got into the boat and returned. The man from whom the demons had gone begged that he might be with him. But Jesus sent him away, saying, "Return to your home and declare how much God has done for you." So he went away, proclaiming throughout the city how much Jesus had done for him. This is the gospel of our Lord.
Praise to you, O Christ.
You may be seated. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. What are we to make of this story in today's gospel? The story of the demons and pigs rushing down and drowning in the water. I heard somebody say one time, "Hey, this is the perfect recipe for devil's ham." But okay, there we go. Okay, all right. Now, in this age of science that we live in, we are usually skeptical about talking about demons. There's something about the idea of demons as being too primitive. So quite often we try to take stories like this one and say that when the Bible writers speak about demons, what they're really talking about is mental illness. We try to say that the man in the tombs wasn't possessed with demons. Instead, he was suffering from mental illness. But even though we shy from believing in demons, sometimes we're forced to believe in such things. Take, for example, the story of Luke Woodman. Seven years ago, Luke Woodman went on a killing spree. He killed students in schools all across the country. And when the police finally caught up with him, he explained his actions by saying that a demon made him do it. Now, we hesitate to believe in the demonic, but we want to think that somebody like Woodham, or the one who killed those 49 revelers at the gay nightclub in Orlando, or the killer of the nine church members at the historic Black Lutheran Church, Mother Emanuel in Charleston, South Carolina, or the man who shot up or a group of people who shot up a pair of military facilities in Chattanooga, or a community college in Roseburg, Oregon, or a Planned Parenthood in Chicago, Colorado Springs, or during a workplace party in San Bernardino, California. Not to mention those who were killed in random shooting sprees at a Sikh temple, or in a movie theater, or in a kindergarten classroom. We don't want to think about the demonic there. We just want to say, no, these people were just mentally ill. Maybe, just maybe, describing these actions as demonic might be a bit more accurate. When Jesus met up with a man from the tombs, Jesus asked him what his name was. The man answered him by saying, Legion. Now, by saying that name, Legion, the man was saying that he was filled with a whole legion, a whole bunch of demons. There are so many inside of him that he couldn't even begin to name them all one by one. Maybe that's something we could relate to. Maybe there have been times in our lives when we've been overwhelmed by a legion, by more suffering, more evil, more hardship, and difficulty and pain, and we know what to do about it. Maybe there have been times in our lives when we felt that we've been buried alive. Isn't that this man's problem? This man, he was alive, but he was forced to live in the tombs, as if he were already as good as dead. But notice that when the man first encounters Jesus, he doesn't say, oh, yay, right? Help at last. Doesn't say that. What does he do? He screams at Jesus. He says, God, you son of God, what do you have to do with me? You've come here to make my life even more miserable than it already is. Leave me alone, Jesus. Just leave me alone. Isn't that kind of how some people react to Jesus? You know, a lot of people treat Jesus as if he were the enemy. For example, if someone has an issue in their lives and you suggest to them to make God, to make Jesus a bigger part of their lives, or, heaven forbid, suggest they be part of their solution might be found by becoming more involved in a worshiping community, what happens? Most of the time, they don't like that kind of advice. Often their attitude is, I've got too much going on in my life right now without bringing in Jesus. Jesus will give me more problems, and it'll just try to make me feel guilty. Or, something I've never understood, is that when people are going through a crisis, they respond to that crisis by stop coming to church at all. Wait till everything's settled, then I'll come back maybe. The time when they should be embracing God most closely, they seem to figure that the best solution is to keep Jesus at a distance. Again, I don't get that one. And isn't that exactly what the man in the tombs wanted to do? He wanted to keep Jesus away from him at arm's length. Again, for some reason, some people look at Jesus as somebody who's out to get them. They look at Jesus as the enemy. It's like the time when a young man was brought before a judge in Dallas charged with fighting in school. And the judge told the boy that he could either pay a $200 fine or he could go to Sunday school and church for 8 Sundays. Well, guess what happened? The ACLU got involved, and the judge was forced to withdraw the Sunday school and worship option. Apparently, some people consider spending time in God's presence as cruel and unusual punishment. We live in a world where people just don't want Jesus anywhere near them. We live in a world where people treat Jesus as if he is public enemy number one. But the thing that we discovered in today's gospel story is that when Jesus became part of that man's life, all of a sudden this guy's problems were gone, and he was healed. Jesus was able to make that legion of demons vanish from him. And that is true for you and for me as well. You see, when Jesus comes to us, he doesn't come to us to destroy us. He comes to us to heal us. Heal us from all the demons that dwell within us, and to give us the kind of life that God wants us to have. Now, right after this man was healed, He ran up to Jesus and he asked him to sign on as one of the disciples and to go with Jesus on his journey. Makes sense to me. After all, Jesus had just given this man his life. And he wanted to show his appreciation by following Jesus. But do you remember what Jesus did? Remember what Jesus did? Jesus turned his offer down. No, Jesus gave him another way to follow him. He told the man to go back to his own hometown and tell them about what God has done for him. That's what that man did. He went back and he told them. Now we all like to talk, don't we? Right? And to some degree, we all like to gossip. Right? Be truthful. We all like to gossip a little bit. Me included, okay? There's a little bit of Alice Roosevelt Longworth in all of us, who, if you may remember, she had this famous quote, "If you can't say something good about somebody, sit over here right by me." But when Jesus sent the man back to his town, he told him to go. He told him to go and gossip about God, to talk about what God had done in his life. And you know, that's not bad advice for us either. We got to spend more time going around and gossiping about God. After all, when Moses saw the burning bush and God told him to go and free the people, did Moses go home and grab his diary out from between the mattress and the box spring and write down in your diary, "You are never going to believe what happened to me today"? Or of course not. You know, Moses didn't keep that burning bush a secret. He went to the people. And he told them all what God had done. Or on Easter morning, when Mary Magdalene found that the tomb was empty and saw that Jesus was alive, what did she say? Did she say, "It's okay, Jesus, it'll be our little secret"? Of course not. She ran off and she told others about what had taken place. I hate to break it to you, but there are people within this community of faith and all around Southeastern Michigan and all around the world who are suffering demons in their own lives. And it is our mission to go out and to gossip to these people. To let these people know that despite what they may think, God is not the enemy. Instead, just like how that demon-possessed man was sent to tell others how Jesus had helped him, we have the same mission. We have the same mission to go out and to tell others about what God has done for us. It's not to brag or anything like that. It's to let people know that the God who has healed us and has given meaning to our lives is the same God who wants to bring healing and meaning to everyone. And as I said earlier, our gossiping about God isn't just for the benefit of people outside the church. Here on the inside, we need to gossip more about God to each other as well. We need to be reminded that the God who has helped us in the past is the God who will continue to help us now and into the future. If we open our hearts, we open our minds to the working of the Holy Spirit in this place. And we keep our own egos and our own prejudices and our own bigotry out of God's way in the process. The man possessed by demons, the man known to us as Legion, was somehow drawn into the presence of Jesus, the Son of the God of the Most High. Why did he come out of those tombs? Why did he wander down to the seashore? Why was he waiting when Jesus stepped onto the land? Because there was something in this broken man's heart, something in his life, some faint whisper of the possibility of hope. drove whatever shred of goodness and light that was left inside of him. That left inside, and it drove that poor, that possessed soul to confront Jesus face to face. You. All of you here in this holy place, in spite of all of your, or because of all of your deeds, you are here. You are here, and you are all confronting Jesus face to face. And Jesus, in this place, can cast out your demons and can change you forever. And it is my sincere prayer that you will all be